We are totally in the hands of the Federal Reserve. Of course, we all know that. We've known that for some time. But the Fed presidents are speaking around the country today, and this week. Philadelphia Fed came out with some interesting comments. Same with Dallas. Same with New York Fed. And Dudley, New York Fed president, clip 208, Devin. There's a couple other clips here that I want to play, but let me just play this and then I'll comment on it in a second. Then we're going to go to phones. 866-300-9298. Go ahead, Devin.
Well, this has been a bit of a puzzle to me because you look at the fundamentals for the business sector. The fundamentals are actually quite positive.
Corporate profits at all-time high, trillions of dollars. Yeah.
Lots of cash, easy financing. And it's not like the level of investment is very high right now. It's at a low level, so we're not actually growing the capital stock very rapidly. So I think that this is, a bit of a surprise that it's been as weak as it's been. I think what's happening, though, is that businesses are becoming more confident. We get out into the district quite a bit and talk to small businesses, and I've noticed a pretty significant change in confidence just over the last 3 or 4 months. So I think we're about to see that momentum in business fixed investment spending.
So isn't it interesting? This is the problem. Now the Fed is it might as well be Harvard because it's all a bunch of academics. Very few of them have ever made a payroll in their life. So, and this is a typical academic statement. But he secondly says that he's kind of surprised that things have been as weak as they have. But he shouldn't be surprised based on the beginning comment that he made. So he starts out by saying that business sectors fundamentally are good. I've been saying that for 3 years, that the fundamentals of companies are as good as they've ever been. Okay, so he goes out saying that. But then he goes on and saying, and they have lots of cash on the sidelines. And then he says, well, it's surprising that things are so weak. That would be because they have lots of cash on the sidelines because the Federal Reserve has incentivized them to build cash, and the government has demonized profits, has incentivized more regulations and more heavy-handedness of the government. So why do you think the money's on the sidelines? So you can't expect to have growing business environment and growing business confidence when you have the conditions in which you, Mr. Fed President, part of the Federal Reserve, has participated in a great way of creating. So do we need business momentum? Of course. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Well, I don't understand it. They have all this cash, and it's a little surprising that things aren't better. No, what's surprising is that you guys are so naive as to think that businesses and business CEOs are just so dumb that they think that, well, I got a lot of cash here. Let's get out there and invest it in the economy. That's what is surprising, that you are so naive to think that one small component of a fundamentally sound company having a lot of cash on their balance sheet is all that it takes for a thriving economy. See, what's surprising is that you believe that, and you can't, your ideology won't allow you, or your textbook knowledge of what it takes to run a business will not allow you to step outside that box and think a little bit more analytical than just, well, there's a lot of cash. I'm kind of surprised things aren't better. Yeah, I mean, and if he's talking about a lot of cash, it goes on and on. He said some other things. I want to get to the phones, as I promised, that we'll try to get to, but very, very interesting. And the beauty of when Feds speak to me is they do two things. One is they reinforce everything that I've been saying. Secondly, or three things. Secondly, it raises my blood pressure and gets me aggravated. And third, I realize that it's almost impossible to get out of the mess that we're in based on the leadership throughout the country, whether it be the Fed, a private institution, or the government. I mean, it just, the more you hear, the more you realize how much trouble we're in. And it's why I say that I don't know that we get out of trouble until we get so deep in trouble that we can only look up where things are so bad. And finally, people are going to have to start thinking outside their textbook models and outside the box a bit.